My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, on this 28th Sunday in Ordinary Time, we hear a gospel about a wedding banquet. There's someone who's going to hold this great nuptial feast, and he invites all these people. He prepares the great feast. Everything is ready. The invitations are sent. Just like last Sunday, we heard about the vineyard owner who cultivated the ground, how he watered the ground, how he built a moat around his vineyard to protect it, how he raised up a guard tower. He did all the work. So too in today's gospel, the one sending out the invitations has done all the work. He's prepared the great feast. And guess what? No one wants to come. Those who are invited do not want to come. But this doesn't stop him. He is relentless. He wants people to be able to celebrate this great wedding feast. So he invites new people to come. Last Sunday's gospel concluded with Jesus telling the scribes, the chief priests, and the elders that something would be taken away from them and new people would be invited into the kingdom. So too now, because the man who is putting on this great wedding feast wants to invite new people, he invites them. And lo and behold, they go out into the streets, they invite all these people. Who doesn't want a free meal? And they all come. The Eucharist is often called the wedding feast of the Lamb. There is a great nuptial mystery. Jesus lays down his life for his bride, the church. We celebrate the sacrament of God's love, especially for his people. Well, someone shows up at the wedding banquet without the wedding garment. What are we to make of this? Why is he treated so severely? Well, we might ask, well, what is that wedding garment? St. Gregory the Great says, it's the garment of charity. We are called to love God and our neighbor. So we can show up at Mass, we can show up at religious functions, but if we do not have charity in our hearts, if we act like hypocrites, if our hearts are cold toward our fellow men and women, then literally there will be wailing and gnashing of teeth when we are thrown out into the darkness. It's one thing to say, I am a baptized person. I'm invited. I'm called to this greatness. But it's another thing to say, this is my card. Let me in, without doing anything worthy of the name Christian. This is the great challenge for us, not merely to believe with our minds, but to believe with our hearts and our deeds, to put our faith into action, above all in charity. Charity in our thoughts, charity in our words, charity in our deeds, because that is the sacrament we celebrate at the wedding feast of the Lamb, the sacrament of charity.